Okay, how you doing, folks? This is Rex at the Buckeyenest again. And we're up here today at the Dayton VA doing another impromptu movie, trying to help out an organization called the For Freedom Team. They're an equestrian horse team, and they do all kinds of neat things for veterans up here. You've already seen some interviews I've done with Rod and David and Cindy and Linda and Kristen and a whole bunch of other people out there. I can't even remember their names. But today I've got Cobb. Is that your first name?
Last name, John Cobb.
John Cobb. John is part of the team, but he was actually in the therapy program itself before he became part of the team. I understand that's how you met the team?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah. What did you do in that session?
Well, it was just, I was in the last cohort.
First of all, let me say this for all you internet people out there. We all know, due to today's circumstances, we can't record certain things, so I can't actually use any patients. But because John was part of, is part of the team now, he can talk about his experiences with the team and what he's doing. So this is coming straight from his heart. So pay attention.
That's correct. I can't give any other veterans' names or any other patients without their permission, but I can speak for myself because I'm coming from both sides. I went through the Heroes Cavalry program as a patient here at the Dayton VA,
Okay.
as part of the therapy program for the post-traumatic stress disorder treatment plan. The equine therapy in that aspect just added a whole different approach and different method of treatment, in addition to all the treatment that already takes place as far as the counseling and the one-on-one therapy and all that stuff.
Right.
And it's all to help veterans overcome hardships.
Yeah.
As a patient, I was going through the treatment program, and I looked on my schedule and it said equine therapy. And at first I didn't really know what that was going to consist of. After the very first session over here with the For Freedom equestrian team, I knew that it was something that I was going to benefit from.
Yeah.
I knew that a lot of veterans would benefit from it, and whether you have a background with horses or any kind of equestrian background at all or not,
Right.
is the method that they use to help veterans. There's an essence about it that just touches you. It just reaches in and touches your heart.
I've seen that already.
Yeah, and
I've seen that.
as the course.
And you felt that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I felt that on day one, and I grew up with horses and all that, but I spent 20 years in the Army, retired from the Army, so for the last 20 years, I haven't really had a chance to.
What did you do in the Army?
I retired as a first sergeant, infantry first sergeant. I spent my whole life in the infantry, most of the time in the 82nd Airborne Division. Served 5 tours in Iraq, and that kind of, you pick up some baggage along the way, to put it nicely. And that's just part of the benefit that this team does, all voluntary. All members are volunteers. They sacrifice their time, their money, their horses, their efforts, their energy, their schedules, all to make this team come together and come help veterans.
Okay.
And it's just awesome. I mean, you can't ask for a better group of people.
Yeah, let me ask you a question before.
Sure.
Because everybody out there knows they've watched. I have 650 movies published.
Yeah.
So they know I get brain lock every now and then. So.
Sure thing.
So, if you were bringing your horses out here today, you know this program is supposed to start at 10 a.m. sharp.
Yes.
How early would you have to get up to get started to get your horses and get them over here on time? What involves that?
Me personally,
Yeah,
I'd get everything prepped the night before.
would you?
Yeah.
So
So
just
all
be a matter of
I'd have to do is load them in the trailer, and depending on where you live, travel time,
Yeah.
load them in the trailer, and
But that takes time too. You gotta
Well,
put
sure.
snacks in the trailer for them.
Sure, you've got to have all your tack together, you've got to have all the, and like we do carriage rides every Tuesday, you've got to have all the equipment that goes with it, even though we keep the carriage here on the grounds, but between all the tack and getting the trailer ready and getting everything from the hay to the grooming equipment, to the bridles, to everything that we use out here, I mean, all the way down to the fly spray. It takes quite a bit of energy, and you gotta be organized, but that's just.
So there is some
and those-
social time and stuff.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Well, I have to
Not
tell
to
you-
mention, not to mention the travel time from, this is a tri-county team, several different counties, so some folks, some of the folks on the team don't just live right down the road.
Right.
They're, one or two counties away, but it's a sacrifice that the team members are willing to take, because it's a heartfelt volunteer program that's designed to benefit others,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about.
So you would say that it definitely benefited you?
It benefited me in such a way that it really changed my entire outlook on things. It really did.
I can imagine.
It really did.
I'm no better myself if I didn't.
Yes, sir.
I was a tank crewman,
Yes, sir.
so
Yeah,
I can imagine.
yeah. But it's. I always said when I was going through the program that the therapy offered by the VA was for the mind.
Right.
The therapy offered by the For Freedom team is for the soul.
Wow.
And that's the way it affected me. That's the way it touched me, and that's when I knew that I wanted to be a part of this team.
So you became a part of the team, so.
Yeah, I had spoken with Leah and asked her what the requirements are to become a volunteer with the team. And, we talked, and next thing you know, she thought I would be good for the team, and I knew that I would be good for the team.
Yeah.
It's a great group of people, and, they're friends above all else.
Right.
So yeah, fortunately for me, it worked out, and now I'm, a volunteer member of the team. And
You know David, right?
I do, David, yes.
And David told me a story about how you guys are not only friends but family, and
Mm-hmm.
how he was down and out on his luck and come in one day and they had a whole table full of stuff for his brand new apartment.
Yes, sir.
They went out and bought for him, and
Yeah.
he said, they'll never get rid of me. He said, you can't tell me nothing bad about this organization.
No, absolutely not.
Well, other than yourself, John,
Mm-hmm.
let's see now. David related a story to me about a gentleman that was on a walker. Were you here during that session? He actually had to have a walker to get around on.
Okay.
And the miracle part is, he didn't want to come to the class to start with, because he, like yourself, had horses, but he actually broke horses and trained horses from the ground up back in the cowboy days.
Okay.
Early Vietnam veteran he was. And I won't say his name, but he was on a walker, and when he started out, he was fighting the system. When it ended up, he sent the walker off on the side after about the fourth session and didn't need a walker no more, and on the last week, he actually climbed up on the back of a tank and broke tank all around the VA here. Do you recall any part of that? Or?
No, sir, I wasn't part of the team at that point, but I had heard that story, and not only is it amazing, but that just goes to show the kind of effect that this program has on people.
Okay, given that little story for thought and your personal experience, can you recall anything else that really touched you as part of a team, as part of the team members?
For the team members themselves.
Well, either or, the team members or veterans. Maybe you saw some veterans participate that got some serious benefit from it, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll touch on both. From the veteran side of the house, when I went through the program as a patient, there were probably, just in my group alone, there were probably, if I remember correctly, probably 3 different veterans that didn't want anything to do with horses. They were, big.
So let me clarify, they were being forced to take the therapy, more or less.
Well, forced is a strong word, but it was
Okay.
it was scary.
Okay,
So,
all right, I understand.
yeah, but, there was some fear there. Horses are large animals and stuff, and they've never been around, city boys their whole lives.
Right.
And so they really didn't know what to expect. But by the time the second session was done, they wanted to spend all the free time over here.
Yeah,
Any day that the horses were here,
yeah.
any free chance they got over there, they'd come walking back over here, and they'd be around the horses and creating that bond with them and grooming them and petting them.
Yeah,
And by the end of the course, they did not want the course to end.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, horses are so majestic, and they're so, they have this quality that just touches people.
Yeah.
They have the ability that.
Tank touched me.
Yeah.
My first day, all right, because
Yeah.
I was tank crewman. His
Yeah.
name was Tank.
Oh, there you go.
And I
Yeah.
met up with him, and the next thing I know, I'm walking alongside of him, talking to him.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're long lost buddies.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I bet you he listened to
He
every
did.
word you said.
He did.
Yeah.
And you could tell he listened.
Absolutely. You see it in his eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it's touched a lot of veterans that way. Whether they've had a lifetime full of.
Do any of those veterans ever come back even after they finish the class just to say hi?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's neat.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of times, I know a couple of guys that, whether they have an appointment up here at the VA and it just happens to be on a day where the For Freedom team is here,
Yeah,
they definitely stop here to say hi
Yeah.
and to say thank you and just a little courtesy call, so to speak.
yeah.
And it's just the only unfortunate part for me, and I've got to just throw this out there. The only unfortunate part of me, the deal for me, was that it was only one day a week.
Oh,
Everybody wanted it to be like every day because it was everybody's favorite therapy session.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because David often told me when I was speaking to him about how he would walk the horses up and around,
Mm-hmm.
and that was his quiet time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With being able to talk to an intelligent entity that would listen and not talk back.
And listen and not talk back. Just look at you with those big eyes and just understand.
You said you had a story to tell me about the team.
The team itself. The team itself, and I'm saying the entire team because I've seen all the different members, and it all applies to them. But for example, over here at where some of the senior citizens are in the hospice and stuff like that, sometimes the nursing staff will bring them outside and have the team members just walk a couple of the horses over there to say hi to them. And you can see it on the patients' faces. You can see it in the team members' faces.
Yeah.
And I've seen hospital staff wheeling out senior citizens on, their medical gurneys,
Right, yeah.
their wheelchairs,
Wheelchairs, yeah.
and
And the eyes light up.
the eyes just light up, man. It's just that power you can feel. It's just that essence. And when you see the team members' faces, their eyes are just as lit up, seeing that reaction from the patients.
My first week over here with Leah, I don't think you were here. I went over to the hospice, the nursing home over here,
Mm-hmm.
followed Christian, Cindy, and Erica's husband, what's his name? Erica, her husband. They're moving to Vermont or something, out of state.
Oh, yeah, Nelson.
Nelson,
They
yeah.
just moved to Wisconsin.
Yeah, everybody out there knows I have brain lapse. I could see it in their eyes when the patients were coming out, the Korean veterans and the World War II veterans were coming out. There was family over there with their dads, and they were just enjoying every bit of it. So,
Yeah. It's just great, man.
So you guys pay for it?
If you like to feel good,
Yeah.
come spend a day with
I
this,
gotta-
with this
I gotta
team
tell
and
you-
just watch the effect that it has
I
on
gotta
people.
tell you a short story similar to something you just told me. I worked security most of my adult life. My last assignment was up at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport.
Mhm.
Before I decided I was too old to be chasing bad guys anymore.
Yeah.
Had a 10-year-old boy come up and tug on my elbow. I was up on Continental's concourse. I was coming up on jetway number 5. And one of our functions was we always patrol the concourse and checking doors and watching for strange things.
Mhm.
This little boy comes up after I jerked on that door and he tugged me on the elbow and he said, "Officer," he says, "are you making sure there's no bad guys getting on that airplane?" I said, "Yes, I am." He says, "That's good because I got to get Mom and Dad back to Lithuania in one piece."
That's nice.
And it was just an awesome feeling. I mean, I've had several things happen to me over my entire life.
Sure.
But that's just one of them, you know.
Yeah.
That-
Tugs at the heartstrings, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Well, John, you know, I'm gonna be around 3 more weeks for sure, maybe another 4th week if I come over to meet with Leah about something.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna put you up on the internet, buddy, and let the whole world see your story. Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for
20
yours.
20 years in the infantry, we had to have you guys walking around the outside of our tanks, making sure they weren't sneaking up.
Well, it's our pleasure.
You have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Okay. Now, if you want to give me your email address, I can add you to my email list. And if you want to, you can give me your phone number. It's not necessary. But I have actually submitted this organization to